You ever walk into a meeting room and stare at a massive screen that looks great on the spec sheet, only to realize it can't actually pull off the video call you need? That "I should have spent a little more" regret is all too common when you go for the cheapest 75-inch commercial panel you can find. The cheap options often lack the reliability you need for a busy office, and you end up swapping cables or rebooting the display halfway through a presentation. So the question is, does the Samsung Business QB75R feel like a smarter buy, or is it just another expensive box that will disappoint when you actually need it? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about why this screen shows up on a lot of shortlists for conference rooms, digital signage, and collaborative spaces. It's a 75-inch 4K UHD panel with Samsung's dynamic crystal color, which means the colors stay vivid even when you're showing brand-heavy content or high-resolution spreadsheets. The built-in system-on-chip (SoC) and an embedded media player let you run content directly from the display without needing an external PC or media stick. In practice, that translates to a cleaner setup: one cable for power, one HDMI or USB-C for source, and the rest is handled by the display itself. Now, imagine you're the facilities manager for a mid-size firm that just opened a new collaborative hub. You need a screen that can double as a video conference display for Cisco WebEx rooms and also serve as a digital signage hub for internal communications. The QB75R's compatibility with Cisco WebEx room kits means you can hook the room kit directly into the HDMI port and let the display handle the video processing. You won't need a separate scaling box because the intelligent UHD upscaler inside the panel will automatically boost standard definition video to 4K. That's a real time saver on the installation day, especially when you have a tight rollout schedule. The design itself is surprisingly slim for a 75-inch unit. The bezel is thin enough that the screen feels like a single sheet of glass, and the mounting options are straightforward. You can go wall mount or use a ceiling rig without a massive bracket. The cable management channels built into the frame keep the power cord, HDMI, and Ethernet tidy, which matters a lot in a room where you don't want a tangle of wires stealing focus from the content you're showing. But the strengths become more meaningful when you think about day-to-day usage. In my own testing of similar Samsung commercial panels, the biggest pain point is often the auto-off or power-saving modes that kick in during a long meeting. The QB75R lets you disable those timers from the on-screen menu, so the screen stays on for as long as you need. The brightness rating of 350 nits isn't cinema level, but it's more than enough for typical office lighting. I've seen it hold a clear image in rooms with overhead fluorescence and even in a bright reception area with natural light pouring in through windows. That means your branding graphics won't look washed out, and your video calls stay crisp. On the flip side, there are a few practical trade-offs you should be aware of before you click Add to Cart. First, the sound system is minimal. Samsung provides a basic built-in speaker array that's fine for short announcements but falls short when you need a full-room audio experience for a conference call. You'll likely need an external soundbar or a ceiling speaker system to get decent volume and clarity, which adds to the overall cost and cable clutter. Second, the panel doesn't come with a built-in camera, so you'll have to supply your own WebEx-compatible camera. That's not a surprise for a commercial display, but it's a hidden expense that can catch first-time buyers off guard. Another nuance is the network connectivity. The unit includes Wi-Fi, which is handy for quick deployments, but for a stable conference room setup you'll want to hardwire it via Ethernet. The Ethernet port is tucked behind the same panel that houses the power button, so you need a small opening in your mount to route the cable. If you're planning a clean wall mount with no visible ports, you'll have to factor in a cable raceway or a recessed wall plate. It's doable, but it's one more step that some installers might overlook. Who should seriously consider this display? If you're a corporate IT manager looking for a single screen that can serve both as a meeting room centerpiece and as a digital signage hub, the QB75R checks those boxes nicely. The built-in media player means you can schedule content playlists directly on the screen, so you don't have to keep a dedicated PC on all the time. It also works well for educational institutions that need a large format screen for lecture capture and then want to repurpose it for campus announcements after class. The 4K resolution is a real advantage when you're showing detailed engineering drawings or high-resolution product videos. You won't lose clarity when you zoom in. If you're a small business that only